Good evening and welcome to the official co-stream of the back-to-back NBA 2K League champions, Wizards D.G. Tonight, it was an earlier than normal tip-off. We're already underway here in Game 1 as the defending champs, Wizards D.G, take on Cavs Legion Gaming in Day 1 action of Week 2 for the seed week for the 3v3 postseason tournament. Alongside Chris, my name is John. Shout out to everyone here on Twitch for joining us here for a very early edition of this 9 p.m. tip-off. Chris, as we jump here into Game 1, it's currently a 7-3 lead. Check that 7-5 lead for Cavs Legion, but we're coming into Week 2 after a disappointing Week 1. Wizards D.G went 1-2 last week. It was very tough going up against some tough opponents last week, but tonight they're going up against Cavs Legion, and this is a new-looking Cavs Legion team after making some trades in the regular season.
Absolutely, and welcome, John. Yeah, Antoine, he was drafted by the Warriors last year. Antoine's another one of those guards like Fanta, like some of the guards we've been playing. And like Sav, they're very stage heavy, 3v3. He comes from, that sort of mold. And he's a big dribble head. He loves to, work his moves, his combos up. So it's going to be another challenge for our defense. We're rolling with the same lineup that we won with at the end of last week, which, I think we both figured that would happen. So I'm excited to see Cap again. I'm excited to see Dayfry with another tough point guard matchup at lockdown, and it should be a good series all around.
Going to be absolutely exciting. So this is great because obviously like beforehand we have this whole thing we run through, but shout out to the 30-minute early tip-off here for the 2K League. It feels very on par as Cap pulls up for three, drains it, makes it 11-9 for Wizards D.G. We'll do our all-star plug in between Game 1s and Game 2. Obviously, as Chris just said, it's Cap, Dayfry, and Nudini, the starting three for Wizards D.G. It's going to be a good matchup here. Like you said, Cap coming back in, 100% agree with you. I think this is the best lineup. We touched on it a little bit last week as well. So hopefully we'll see another victory here as Dayfry slams it home, makes it 13-9. This thing's starting to heat up here for Wizards D.G in Game 1. Best of 5 series, as always here. First to 3 wins in the seed week. Once we get out to the knockout stages back in Indianapolis, come playoff time, it'll switch back to a best of 7 as we've seen. But yeah, game's going a little quick here today, resulting in a very early tip-off here as the Cavs are looking back to get into the game. D-Law with the strong offensive board. That was something that Wizards D.G really struggled with last week, Chris, was those offensive rebounds. We talked to head coach Pat Crossan about it a little bit as well. It feels like it's a struggle with 3v3 when offense attributes in these archetypes seem to be pumped to the max, and defensive and even rebounding stats maybe not as high as they used to. But what's a great way for Wizards D.G to get better on the offensive boards?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things. You see a lot of threes, being put up by opponents, and rightfully so. It's 3v3, so you're going to get those long, awkward rebounds that you can't really predict where it's going to go. And also, we like to run, like a sharp primary center, which a lot of teams don't run sharp in their archetype. Like you see D-Law here, who's running their power forward position or center, however you want to say it. He's a double rim protector, so he's not a double glass cleaner where he's going to have the most rebounding statistics and badges, but he's right up there with them. We put ourselves at a disadvantage on defense for better offense. So it just comes down to boxing out. That's really all we can do. Those long rebounds off of the threes are really going to just be awkward timing, and sometimes the game just lets the better rebounding player grab those boards.
16-13 here in Game 1 as Dayfry looking for a new Dini. Pops it in the corner. Dini unable to convert. Defensive board for D-Law.
Yeah, and the Cavs have been a really hot team, both 5v5 and 3v3, since the addition of Antoine and Walnut. Walnut's obviously not playing in this 3v3 series, but Antoine and Walnut have really revitalized this Cavs Legion team for this year. So it's a really good matchup for us with this new look lineup to see how we compare against a really good team.
18-13 for Wizards D.G. A 3-point basket will seal the deal. Easy 2 points for Cavs, and you got to be happy with that if you're Wizards D.G. or put yourself in a good position here to win on this possession.
Absolutely. We can definitely get a 3 up here. Cavs already off to a great start, 4 of 6. Right as we came on broadcast, he had a really nice 3 off the dribble to the right side, so he's continuing his hot play in 3v3.
In that situation, definitely take what the defense gives you. Still a 1-possession game here, even with a 3. Wizards D.G in possession to win it with the next possession. Antoine moving the ball around, pops a 3. can't get it to go. Strong offensive board. D-Lock kicks it back out. Antoine, the deep three, converts. Wiz D.G can win it here on this possession. Look for the catch.
And here we see Dayfry bringing it up again. It's something we talked to Coach Pat about after the game as well. Just having that versatility in your lockdown. You're not going to see too many lockdowns bring up the ball, initiate the offense. So it just takes pressure off of Cap. It makes life easier on everybody.
Cap kicks it over. Dini in the corner. Thought about it. Pulls it back. Cap up with 5 on the shot clock. Drives over. Dini wide open. Dini calls game in game 1, 23-18. Your final score for Wiz D.G. That's the way you want to start week 2 of Seed Week for 3v3. Cap with 14 points, your leading scorer in the entire game, going 5 for 7 from the field and 4 from 6 behind the arc.
Yeah, Cap also coming in with 4 assists as well, which in a 3v3 game up to 21 is pretty good. It looks like he most likely accounted for all the points we scored, if my math is correct there, with 4 assists. So Cap's just doing it all. He's scoring, he's passing the ball, he's making his shots. 4 of 6 from 3 with 4 assists. You literally cannot ask for a better game of 3v3 than what Cap just did. Obviously, he had 2 turnovers, but we overcame that. I don't think we really even saw his turnovers. It might have been in the beginning of the game, but he probably bounced back from those and just had an overall tremendous performance.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and apologize to Cap. That's totally our fault for not having that on stream. Obviously, we want to keep all the negative stuff off stream. So we're going to say those turnovers were the reason why we didn't start the stream. So Cap, please let us stream earlier. No, don't turn the ball over. Simple as that. But no, nonetheless, Cap with an amazing performance again. Nudini coming up big, 5 points, 2 boards. Dayfry 4 points and 2 boards as well, along with 2 assists. Overall, that's what you want to see. You want to see efficiency, and you got to give it up to Cap. We talked to him a little bit after the last game as well. Threes is not really his style. He's a 5v5 player, and he's kind of plugged in here with this new kind of meta that Wiz D.G is going for, that head coach Pat Crossan is looking at, and it's working incredibly well. Along with Dayfry and Nudini playing in these different positions in these different archetypes as well. It's a very well-oiled machine that we saw work well last week for their first win, and off to a great start here against the Cavs as well. That's exactly what you want to see. You want to see him bounce back from a bad week last week, take that momentum from the third game that was a win against Toronto, and pull it here into day 1 of week 2 and firmly secure that number 1 seed for 3v3s.
Absolutely, for sure. And I think there's even more method to the madness of putting Cap into the 3v3 lineup. I think Coach Pat, a secondary, benefit of having Cap in this lineup is we could just tell, based off his post-game interview last week, his confidence is going up playing in these 3v3s. So I think that's going to translate directly into 5v5, which, he's our point guard, right? So the entire game is basically on his shoulders on offense in 5v5 as well as 3v3. But I think it's just going to make him a better 2K player overall and a better Wiz D.G player. So the more he plays well in 3v3, I think it's going to translate as well to 5v5. And you're going to get the best of both worlds in Cap. And he's playing tremendously well right now, and hopefully he can keep it up and continue building on what he's done so far.
So I'm going to go ahead and call the league out once again. We were promised quick turnarounds. We had that in the Toronto game, but here in the 9 p.m., aka 8:30 p.m. time slot, doesn't look like it's going to be that quick. So we're going to be hanging out here in chat here for just a little bit. Shout out to Potaluck. T-Spans in the chat. What's up? Thanks for joining and watching the game along with Chris and myself. Hope you guys are enjoying it. It's a game 1 victory for Wiz D.G, the defending champs, starting out week 2 the same way they ended week 1 with a win in this best of 3 series going up against, blank on. Oh, yeah, that's right, the Cavs. I should have thought that. It's see,
it's the no AC.
Yeah, it really is the no AC. Like I kid you not. I was joking with Chris beforehand. My AC decided to go out last night. It's currently 85 degrees in my house. So yeah, we're gonna be sweating it out here. Hopefully, sweating as much as the Cavs are gonna be sweating here in game 2. As we roll in, as Antoine will start with the ball for the Cavs, down 0-1 in the series, but Wiz D.G looking to make it a 2-0 lead. Yes, T-Spans, 85 degrees. I am dying, but it's okay. Antoine opening up the scoring here in game 2.
And I'm looking for Antoine to be a little bit more aggressive from three. This game, he only made 1 3 last game, 1 for 3. That's normally not going to do it in a 3v3 from your point guard. So look for him to be a little bit more aggressive this game, three hunting.
Down low, Dayfry bringing the ball back out. Being patient, down to 5 on the shot clock. Over to Cap. Cap moving the ball around, thought about it. Driving, kicks back out. Dayfry for 3. Can't get it to go, but it's Nudini cleaning the glass up and in, and Wizards D.G on the board here in game 2.
That's a good shot by Dayfry. Not only did he really have to shoot that with the clock running down, but he saw Dini had a mismatch inside on a point guard. That's what we call free boards in 2K.
Antoine driving the lane. 2-point lead for the Cavs.
You'll notice Antoine's a playmaker primary archetype, whereas Cap's a sharpshooter archetype, primary archetype. So Antoine might be a little bit faster than Cap, but his three-point rating will be a little bit lower. So that's why you might see Cap green a bit more threes and Antoine be able to get to the rim a little bit more.
Fakey for 3. 7-4 for the Cavs. Cap gets around his defender. To the lane. Love to see it. 7-6.
I think this is the most drives consecutively we've seen, out of both teams, just continuously going to the hole.
It's a good turnover there. Dayfry moving the ball up, finds Cap. Down low, Nudini for the easy jam, and Wizards D.G take the lead back.
And he's in a real 5v5 game, he would have got an and one, but in 3v3, there's no such thing.
Come on, 2K, give us an and one. I mean, you see a lot of elements in street ball in 3v3 play already. Can you imagine if the players were allowed to call their own fouls in 3v3 also? Like if there's like a dedicated button, be like, nah, that's a foul. Check it up.
we can't trust 2K players with that ability. That's too much on their shoulders.
Too much power. Dayfry back to Cap. Thinks about tries to find Nudini. Ball takes a deflection off a Cavs player, and they'll hold on to it with 5 seconds on the shot clock.
This is where we normally see B-Rich work his magic. Let's see if someone has a leaning fade in their arsenal.
Dayfry gave it a shot. Leaned a little too far, hit the side rim. Now going the other way for the Cavs. Antoine finding D-Law in the corner for 3. Makes it 13-8.
Antoine's having a much better game. He's already at 7 and 2, shooting 100% from 3. It's going to be important for us to keep scoring because it just seems like one of those games where the Cavs are going to be able to get what they want offensively.
Capped off balance 3, making it look easy. 13-11. Cap applying the pressure in the backcourt. Dayfry stepping up. Antoine the leaning 3. Splashes it.
Yeah, and Antoine is playing like I kind of expected him to, just being more aggressive, both, scoring and assisting. He's one off badge right now, so if he makes another 3, he will have a sharpshooter badge. Or probably right here. Oh, almost. Yep, he has it.
Antoine will go and activate that badge as well, as they are 1 basket away as Wizards D.G turned the ball over. D-Law over to Antoine. Fakey in the corner, and Fakey calls game 21-11. Not the response you wanted to see from Wizards D.G, but again, it's a tough Cavs team like we were mentioning. Well, I would say during the pregame, but during the pregame was game 1. But nonetheless, they even up the series at 1 apiece. It was a very impressive performance by Antoine. 12 points, 3 assists as well. So we'll have to see what happens there going forward. But, again, it happens in 3v3. Sometimes that momentum swing happens, and it's just tough to get back in there. Obviously, turnovers for Wizards D.G really hurt them this game, but look for them to bounce back there in Game 3. They definitely know what they're doing, and they're going to start with possession in Game 3, which should give them the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, that game is just one of those games where we just got blitzed right off the bat. It never really seemed like we had much of a chance. The Cavs were basically doing whatever they wanted. We were struggling offensively, got a few shot clocks down pretty far underneath the 5-second clock, so... the Cavs shot, I believe, 8 for 9 from the field. We had 2 turnovers. It's going to be tough to win any game like that. But again, it's a 5-game series. It's 1-1, turning into a best of 3 right now. So can easily turn it back in our favor. And like you mentioned, we got ball this game, so that gives us an immediate advantage off the bat.
Speaking of advantage, we want the Eastern Conference to win, which means I need you to vote in Wizards D.G players for the Eastern Conference All-Star team. Head on over to NBA2KLeague.com/vote. Actually, that's 2KLeague.nba.com/vote. You can see it in Twitch chat right now as well. Click on that link. You can vote up to once a day per device. So I need everyone to go on your computer, your parents' computer, your parents' phone, your own phone, your tablet, whatever you have, vote all the time, every day for Wizards D.G players. Last count, Dayfry leading the entire thing with over 500 votes so far. We need to see every single Wizards D.G player in there for the East, as that's going to be our only way to defeat those evil Western Conference players as we head now over into Game 3. All tied up at 1 apiece. Nudini starts with the ball first, hands it off to Cap to start the game. Dini down low on the board for Wizards D.G.
I'm interested to see how we respond right there. A little bit of adversity. You know, we didn't really have a chance to win game 2, so I'm interested to see how Cap bounces back. You know, he only had 5 points last game after a tremendous game 1. So look for him to be locked in more than he was last game. And Dayfry to get a few more stops defensively.
Now it's a turnover. Antoine for the Cavs looking to get on the board here in Game 3. Antoine looking for space, turns it over. It's Cap with the pickpocket going the other way. Pulls up for 3. Steph Curry would be proud. 5-0 for Wizards D.G.
Yeah, no, we're already turning up the defensive intensity. Dayfry had an early block, had a fluke turnover off of it, and then Cap with the steal. So, you know, this is how we win our 3v3 games. It starts on the defensive end. You know, we make it easy on our offense to score in transition, and life's easy from there.
Fakey for 3. Cavs on the board here in Game 3. Cap bringing the ball up. Being patient, looking for space, guarded by Fakey. Hands the ball to Dayfry. Back out to Cap. And if you are new to 3v3, it's first to 21 by 2. Probably should have mentioned that back in Game 1. But here we are in Game 3. 6 fouls and you're out. AI comes in. Definitely don't want to see that. Again, it's first to 21 by 2. This best of 5 series. Tied up at 1 apiece at the moment. Dayfry called with the foul.
You're right. We haven't seen the AI yet, but I wouldn't mind seeing the AI on the other team just to kind of see how they play. We haven't seen the AI much this year, so wondering, you know, just how good they are.
The AI needs some love in the league as well as as the Cavs tied up. You know what, Antoine? I'm just going to need you to get 6 fouls real quick. Just go ahead and foul out, and we'll see how quickly this game ends. How about that?
As long as the AI doesn't play like Allen Iverson, the original AI, I think we'll be fine.
Yes. Good old AI. Cap for the fadeaway, too. Can't get it to go. Nudini with a strong rebound finds Dayfry. 10 seconds. Out to Cap. Wide open. Cap can't get it to go. Dayfry clean up. Cap's going to try it again. Doesn't miss that time. 8-5 for Wizards D.G.
He misses the easy one and makes the contested one. Sometimes it just works out that way, but great offensive rebound again. You know, we're playing really well in the glass this series so far, so that's definitely helping us out.
Antoine responds with a 3 of his own. This game a lot closer than we saw in the first 2 games. Deep 3, can't get it to go. Strong board. Dayfry's there. Off the glass, good for Dayfry.
Again, Dayfry just doing Dayfry things. You know, most locks probably won't go back up with that. They'll probably just reset to their point guard, but you know, Dayfry just makes life easy.
Antoine getting around Dayfry. We'll bring it all the way back around. Fakey for 3. Gets it to go. Now Cap. Splits the defense all alone. Kicks it back out. Dayfry for 3. Splashes it. Dayfry up by 2 now for Wizards D.G.
Yeah, this just seems like one of those Dayfry games. Like, I kind of expect him to get like a steal or a block, you know, one of these possessions defensively, because he's feeling it right now. He's in the zone, both ends. He's playing really well.
Antoine passes down low. Ball deflected. Loose ball picked up by Nudini. Strong defense there from Dayfry, forcing the turnover. Down low, being patient. The big dog off the glass and in. 15-11 as Antoine's getting a little PlayStation Network notifications there on his screen. That was kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean he's not playing really well right now, and he's getting those notifications. It probably rattled him. I'm not gonna lie. I would be annoyed if I got the notification mid-game.
Yeah, it's one of those times you want to turn notifications off when you're heading into to play. I mean, it's only money, right?
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah. D.G up with the ball, up by 1. Wiz D.G look to take control here of the series. It's all even at 1. Cap down low into the corner. Cap for 3. Now it's a 1-possession game for Wiz D.G. Another 3-point shot will do it. In great position here. Antoine figuring out what Twitch stream he's going to go to when this series is over. Passes the ball off to Fakey. Down low to D-Law on the baseline. Kicks it back out. Fakey in the lane. Cavs looking for solid ball movement. Under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Antoine just stifled Fakey down low. They finally break the defense from Wiz D.G. Now could win it here on this possession.
It was a good patient offensive series set by Cavs, but the Cavs defense right now, it looks kind of out of sorts. They're not really communicating on these screens, and you see it again. Cap, he did the same thing last possession, and right there for the game-winning leading 3. That's a huge shot by Cap, and once again, kind of with 12 points, 4 of 6 from 3, just like game 1.
Yeah, Cap turning it on when needed the most, dropping those 12 points, 2 assists. Just an absolute stellar performance. Dayfry with 7 points, 3 boards as well. Nudini rounding it up, 2 points and a board to his name as well. I mean, look, I'm loving Cap on this team. It's not easy being traded mid-season, coming to a new team, especially with a team that has a massive target on their back. Everyone wants a piece of Wiz D.G, and then here you come from a Magic organization that has seen better days. Not a lot of pressure on that team. Yes, you were the first-round draft pick for the Magic, but obviously that blockbuster trade send you up to DC. That's got to be tough, and Cap is really putting it on, and he's making the most of this opportunity. And I'll say it again, Cap's killing it. I'm absolutely loving the way he's fitting into this team, and he's definitely a role player that this team needed for the long run.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And you don't typically think of your primary point guard as a role player, but on this team, that's really all you need. We've been blessed for the past years, obviously having JBM, who's going to go down as one of the best 2K players in league history. And he decided to retire. And like we've talked about before, it's impossible to replace a player like that. But, what you can do is find somebody who's going to fit the system, gel with the guys who have been on the team for a couple of years now, and just form that chemistry. You don't need to be a hero, with such talented players around you. You just need to do your job. And just keep getting better every day. And Cap's someone who's going to listen, take feedback, take constructive criticism. He's not going to cause any waves in the locker room, and he's just going to continue to work on his craft. And you see that, coming out to fruition in these 3v3 games. He's just gaining more confidence every single time he gets out there. And you can just see it by the shots he's taking. He's in control of the offense. He's taking off dribble shots left, off dribble shots right. He's mixing up his drives as well. So Cap's just playing extraordinary, and it's exactly what we need heading into both 3v3 and 5v5 playoffs coming up.
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and take a look here real quick at the upcoming matchup this Thursday. If I do my math correctly, that is the 28th. It's a late one. It's a 10 p.m. tip-off. Just FYI for all the fans out there, there will not be an official co-stream for that one. So to tune in to watch Wiz D.G taking on Pistons GT 10 p.m. this Thursday, make sure you tune in to twitch.tv/NBA 2K League for the official stream there. They will have Command Center up, so if you don't want to watch the broadcast, you just want to watch Wiz D.G, check it out there as well. If not, definitely check out our good friends on the main 2K stream as well. You can hear Scott Cole, you can hear Dirk, you can hear, I believe, Demon JT is going to be on there as well for the 3v3 commentators. So definitely really, really cool. Listen to them as well as they call Wiz D.G. We're gearing up here for game number 4. See, I was going to do a thing where I went to the mainstream because they're doing this cool behind the scenes with all the players there, but they decided to go right back into game. So we'll just kick it into game 4 here, best of 5. Wiz D.G up 2-1. Wiz D.G just need to win this game. The series will be over. Cavs will start with the ball here. Antoine for the Cavs. Every team that has started with the ball has won. So if we're looking at history, if we're looking at how this series has played out, this could possibly be a win for the Cavs, but I would not count out Wiz D.G. They are looking to close this one out and finish the series a little bit before they're supposed to tip off.
Absolutely, for sure. And sometimes it could work out in the other team's favor. You know, if you don't get ball and you get a stop and you use a transition bucket, you know, it would work out in the defensive team's favor. But, you know, it's pretty easy to score in 3v3. So as you see here, the Cavs score first, and it just gives them a little bit of added momentum going into game 4.
Cap, fadeaway 3, gets it to go. It's a 3-2 lead for Wiz D.G here in game 4. Antoine's pass, it's tipped, going the other way now for Wiz D.G. Nudini squared up, thought about it just a little bit. Being a little patient, will pass the ball back to Cap.
Yeah, I think Dini doesn't want to hear Dave Fry yelling in his ear if he pulls up and misses that shot as a power forward. So he's probably just smart into pass fake and reset the offense.
Look, I don't know if Wiz D.G fans have had the experience that is Dave Fry yelling. That is an experience that I highly encourage everyone to come and view during stage play. Hopefully we'll be seeing that once District E opens up here in the nation's capital this fall. So for next season, if you're in the area, definitely stop by for those home games and see the big dog himself on stage. That is an experience that makes me absolutely love this league even more, is the amount of trash talk and barking that goes on back and forth between players on stage.
Absolutely. I think that's what really separates our league from a lot of other esports, is that close-knit environment and close quarters in person. It really allows someone like Dave Fry, who is a big trash talker and a really big motivator. You know, you can hear all that just sitting in the stands, whether you're first row or 10th row. So, yeah, it's a truly unique experience. And, you know, Dave Fry is the best of the best as an individual 6-skill player, as well as a trash talking player as well.
All tied up at 7 apiece. Cap being patient, looking for space, gets the pick from Dave Fry. Moves the ball up, finds Dave Fry down low for the jam. Great vision there, 9-7 for Wiz D.G.
Yeah, the Cavs really do look like they don't really communicate that well on defense. You know, Simple's just screens up the floor. They don't really know if they should switch or just fight over. And we're taking full advantage of it so far, especially after game 2.
Cap coming off a 12-point performance in game 3. Looking to add on here in game 4. Finds Dave Fry back to Cap. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Has space, pulls up 3. Cap sinks it, 12-9.
Yeah, Cap's basically just getting whatever he wants off of screens. You know, the Cavs are really not putting up any fight on it. I don't really know what they're doing, but, you know, we'll take the easy shots right now.
Antoine missing the 3. It's another 2 points for Dave Fry, making it look easy. And Cavs can't afford to let this one get out of hand. Their backs are against the wall here, down 1-2 in the series. And Cap, from the turnover from Dave Fry, looking to add on to it, getting closer to 21. Dave Fry for 3, can't get it to go. Cavs got a break.
Yeah, that was definitely a heat check from Dave Fry. He was feeling himself after the steal. It still was an open shot, but probably one that he might want to take back, looking back on it.
Antoine sinks 3. Brings it to within 2. Now Cap for 3. Drains it up to 11 for Cap. 17-12 for Wiz D.G.
And both of our wins, Cap was 4 for 6 from 3. And in this game, he's 3 for 3, right? So you're getting tremendous offensive production in the form of 3s, which are just backbreakers in 3v3. Like, that's what everyone's going for. 3s over 2s. You know, you get to 21 faster. So, you know, Cap, I mean, we keep saying it, but he really couldn't be playing much better than he is. And for someone who sat out the first half of the year in 3v3, you know, playing with a new team, as we also mentioned, truly, truly remarkable.
Thank you, finding Antoine for the quick 3 on the restart. Wizards D.G looking to make this a one-possession game for the win. Can do it with a 3 here. Down low to Dini. It's a 19. Pardon me. They can do it with a 2 also. This will be the final possession here for Wizzy G. If they want to close it out here, they got to force the ball back over from Antoine and Cavs, and that's what Dave Fry was looking to do with that reach. Will get called for the foul. He's got plenty of those to give up.
Absolutely. We know he'll use them up, especially in this situation. Up by 4, you can front run a little bit, try to get some reach steals, and Cap with the bomb steal on Antoine. I think that could be a breaker right there.
That hurts if you're a Cavs fan. A mental mistake there, playing too close. Nice little bump. Dave Fry for the win. 21-15. Dave Fry. And there you go. Antoine going over to that Twitch stream that he got the notice of. Doesn't want to stick around too late for that. Don't blame him. That one did not go in the direction for the Cavs. After a game 1 and game 3 win for the Cavs, a game 2 win for the Cavs, they looked to correct a lot of those errors that we saw in game 1. They were looking good overall, but nonetheless, that is the quickest post-game interview I've ever seen in my life. It's going to be Dave Fry. Dave Fry is going to be joining us here, which means I have work to do because I have to get the interview set up here. So just give us 1 second here as we are going to get that ready to go here. Let's see here. We're going to take that off. We're going to change this over to... Boom, we do that, and just like that, quick transition. Dave Fry, welcome to the post-game show. My goodness, you caught me off guard with how quick you got on here, but nonetheless, thanks for joining us here. It's a 3-1 series win against the Cavs. You had several days off to kind of build off of that momentum at the end of week 1 last week. What was the message for this team? Obviously, you guys figured it out there in the last game against Toronto last week. You stuck with the same lineup. What was the message here going up against the Cavs?
The message obviously was just kind of us coming in and just playing our game. I feel like the first 2 games of last week, we lost, and I think we got away from kind of doing what we do. And, we have a lineup change with Cap in now, and I think, understanding that Cap is, one of the best players in the world when he wants to be. When he wants to, actually, do his dance and do his thing, and he takes the shots that he wants to take, he's great. And I just try to, for Dini and Cap, I'm just, real big about, them just being aggressive, being confident. And, obviously, it worked out today, and hopefully we can keep it going to the Pistons game.
Hey, Ryan, good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a minute, but, congrats on all your success so far this year. Obviously, you mentioned Cap, coming over mid-season. What's the biggest difference that you've seen from Cap, in Orlando and when he first got to D.C. and now? Because right now he's playing with so much confidence. His shot selection is on point. What have you kind of noticed the differences between then and now?
Say when he first came in, he was I don't think he believed in himself yet. You know what I mean? He was confident in himself, but he didn't really, I don't think he realized how good he was at 2K. So I think now, after being with us for so long and we're real big, everybody tells him hey man, whatever shot you want to shoot, whatever offense you want to run, it's all you, man. It's your world. And I think he finally believes it, and he finally believes that, we're bought into him. And man, dude, he's great. I mean, you see it. He's only been playing 2K for a year and a half total. So it's the fact that he's this good already, and he hasn't even hit his peak yet is super, super eye-opening for us anyway. So going into playoffs for both, 3s and 5s, I'm excited because I feel like he hasn't even tapped into his full potential yet. So we're just going to keep it rolling, and hopefully, we'll have some more games like tonight.
Absolutely. And then, obviously there's the big difference between 5s and 3s here, especially a player in your position where, in 5s, you may focus a little bit more on rebounds and assists and kind of being the floor general. Here in 3, it feels like you have to be almost like a hybrid player. Obviously, you're a student of the game. You're a player who knows how to play every single position. You as a player, how much of a challenge is it for you to kind of switch in that mindset to go to a 3v3 play style where it's more everyone's playing a hybrid role?
I don't like 3v3. I don't really know how I would say I would change my mindset. I feel like with 3v3, it's kind of like when you first start playing 2K and it's you just play ball. You run around and sometimes it's not going to be, I feel like in 5s, it's really organized. You run pick and roll, you have plays, you have all this stuff. In 3s, it's, if Dini's open early, we're throwing the ball down. And then if he doesn't have it, he can just throw it back to me. It's not like we're just resetting the point guard or we're just letting him work. So I feel like it's more fun for me. I feel like we just kind of just play off each other. And like today, I think we kept sending that cut on the right side for Dini, and then Cap would go fade his corner. If not, he would just throw the cut to Cap or to Dini. So we kind of like just little stuff like that where it's not really set in stone with what we're gonna do, but it's like I think it's a lot more fun. And I don't even really for mindset stuff. I feel like we just kind of just go out there and play ball and have fun with it.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like a more broader question, like coming into this season, obviously back-to-back championships with JBM, a completely different player. What was something that you personally wanted to work on heading into this year, knowing that JBM was going to retire? Was there anything specifically you worked on in the off season to kind of prepare for like a new look offense, especially in 5v5, or did you just kind of do the same old, and whoever you guys drafted was going to be that?
Coming into this year, I was real big about like getting my mental health right, and I feel like because I knew this year was gonna be a roller coaster year. Like regardless of who we drafted, regardless who fell, I knew this year was gonna be the hardest one because, Jack was a leader of this team. He was the leader. Like everybody thinks it was me, it was him. So it's when you take that guy out of the equation, you take the stuff that he brought to our team, not even on the game, but off the game. It's tough on everybody. So everybody had to step up and. I think, just coming in, I was just really like focusing on like making sure I was being a good teammate, trying to just make sure I stay, locked in, little stuff, on offense. I try to make the game as easy as possible for any guard that we got. If that's me calling out the rotation, I think it's coming, or if that's me, standing up top calling plays or calling a play out that I think is, that would work. Just little stuff like that. But yeah, man, the biggest thing I think was just like mental health stuff. I think just coming in like super clear-minded, clear-headed, and understand it's going to be a roller coaster year. You never can get too high, never get too low. It's like just like that in life anyway. So yeah, this year was definitely it's been a roller coaster, but it's been a fun roller coaster for sure.
Yeah, and that's such a great message out there. Definitely checking in with one's own mental health, making sure you're in the right headspace and everything. That's definitely a major key factor here, not just in as a player for 2K League, but in everyday life, like you were saying. So now looking forward to this Thursday night. Supposedly it's going to be a late tip off at 10 p.m. Or they might decide, hey, 9:30 opened up, we're going to do 9:30. Who knows? But you're going up against Pistons GT. Obviously, Ant season is a big name with that team. What is your guys' prep going into this game against Detroit, and obviously looking to lock up that 1 seed overall?
Yeah, so going into the Detroit game, man, they run a kind of an unorthodox lineup. They run the 7 foot, like the inside center, and they Ants on the 6 foot. So I think the more of the game plan is to kind of understand whenever they get offensive rebounds, because it's going to happen regardless, is how we're going to play when Ants like dexting after, when he's trying to like relocate off the offensive rebound. So we know Ant's really, really good. We know what he likes to do for the most part, but I think if we can limit our turnovers and just take points early and make them kind of play our game instead of us playing their game, I think we'll be all right. Obviously, we're still trying to lock down that 1 seed. Hopefully, I think the Celtics have to play tonight or tomorrow. So they have to play a game, one of these games or one of these days. So if they lose, I think it's locked in. So hopefully, it works out for us. But obviously, going into the Pistons game, we got to, take care of our business. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and you mentioned taking care of business. So this last question for me is probably like the last thing on your mind, but I think you make in my opinion, the biggest impact in both 3v3 and 5v5. So, not looking too far ahead, but what would a regular season MVP mean to you? You have the 2 championships, you have a ton of accolades, but what would that mean to you?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it. I guess because there's like initiative this year if you win it. It would mean a lot, I guess, but I feel like with me, I've never been like a guy that was like, oh yeah, like I'm the best player, like or like whatever. I feel like it'd be more a testament to our team, because I feel like Justin was definitely an MVP candidate, probably 3/4 of the season. Even you could even argue now in fives, because like if you watched his impact of like what he did for our defense, he was amazing. Even with Dini had some games where you're like, wow, and it's like, yeah, I mean my impact's big, but like you also have to have people to buy into you, and I think that's the biggest thing, with anything in life and anything sports or whatever. I feel like if you don't have the team around you, it doesn't matter. So obviously it'd mean a lot, but I think it's more if we can get that third one. I think that would be really, really rewarding for everybody and especially for Cap.
All right, Wiz DG Nation. That's a tongue twister for whatever reason. Do me a favor, head on over to 2kleague.nba.com/vote and vote for Dayfry and the rest of Wiz DG to get into the All-Star game. Dayfry, did you know you're leading the entire league in votes?
Yeah, I think I seen a tweet about it. It's cool, dude. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's one of those. It doesn't mean nothing, so it's like it's just back to the business. You know what it is.
Absolutely. Well, vote for Dayfry. Vote for the rest of the squad as well. Dayfry, thank you again for joining us here on the post game show. Congrats again on that 3-1 victory, and best of luck against Detroit on Thursday.
Thank you so much. Thank y'all for having me.
Appreciate it. Always great getting to talk to Dayfry. As I like that he gives the thumb ups to make sure he's good to go. I like that. You know, he's always great to talk to. His knowledge of the game, his ability to break the game down for everyone, I think is absolutely fantastic. And I think you hit home here. You know, he's a very humble guy, but let's be honest here. His impact in 3v3s and 5v5s is second to none. I mean, this guy is an MVP candidate. He is, in a lot of people's mind, the front runner for MVP with his impact on the court. He may be a little humble about it, but I think the numbers speak for themselves. He's been an impact player from day one in this league, and I think that would be a real bright spot for him in his 2K League career. You know, he's pretty much won everything else. You know, winning the league MVP would pretty much be that exclamation point on top of everything else.
Absolutely. And you mentioned it too. Like, he's always going to be humble. He's always going to be, next game, next looking ahead. He's not going to look too far ahead. He's not going to care about his individual accolades. But like, who you have to be crazy to not want to play with someone like Dave Fry. Like, he's hyping up Cap, saying he's the best player in the world when he wants to be. You know, he's saying Justin could be MVP, Dini. Like, he's basically just giving all the credit to his teammates, and that's the sign of a true leader. I know he said JBM was the leader the last 2 years, but it was truly a co-leadership between the two, and you can just see it. Every interview he does, whenever you talk to him, he just exudes leadership, and he just makes his teammates, just much better just because of the way he's able to speak to them and break down the game and what he sees. So in combination with his play, I think obviously that probably wouldn't factor into the MVP voting, but for us, we know how much of a leader he is, and there would be no one more rewarding, that's for sure, than him to win MVP this year.
Yeah, I mean, having Dave Fry as a pump up man, I mean, I think that'd be outstanding. I kind of want to be like, hey, Dave Fry, I'm gonna give you $100, give me a half an hour of your time, and see if you can make me a better 2K player. It's probably a waste of money because I can't hit a shot if my life depended on it, which is why, again, I'm on this side of the camera, not on the other side. But nonetheless, he would be a great hype up man. Like, that is someone that you want to have your back going into these games, going into battle here against all the other teams, all the other great players in this league as well. So high remarks there for Cap from Dave Fry himself. That's really, really cool. We are just moments away from head coach Pat Crossan joining us here, breaking down the last team meeting here before he hops on. Again, taken by surprise with how quick Dave Fry hopped on there, completely caught me off guard. But yeah, I mean, overall, Chris, your takeaways here from this game, from this series, I mean, you have to be pretty happy with what you saw building off of that win from last week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we obviously dropped a game, but I don't put any stock into that whatsoever. You can also say the Cavs, they probably didn't play their best defensive series. They didn't put much of a fight in pick and rolls. I don't know kind of what they were doing, what their game plan was, but Cap was basically just getting open uncontested without really having to do much work in the pick and roll. But you can't take anything away from the way we played. We can only play the opponents and the defenses that we're given, and we executed perfectly. Like I mentioned during the games themselves, in our wins, Cap was absolutely outstanding, especially from three. 4 for 6, 4 for 6, and then I believe in the last game we won, he was a 3 for 3 or 4 for 4, something like that. So, he can't play any better. He limited his turnovers. He controlled the game. He didn't rush the ball up the floor. And that's something that we saw before he was in there, is we were rushing a little bit. So, he's doing his job to the utmost ability, and that's all we can ask of him.
Absolutely. And looks like he sat down, so we'll go ahead and bring him on. He has a little stubble back, but nonetheless, I got to make sure I hit the right button here to go over. There we go. There he is. Head coach Pat Crossan slowly growing that beard back. Congrats on the 3-1 victory over the Cavs gaming here tonight. You have to be pretty happy. You kept up the momentum from that win over Toronto last week. You kept with the same lineup, and it really paid off again with Cap coming up with 3 big performances there in those 3 wins.
Yeah, no, it was it was a good game for us. It locked us into the number 1 seed, number 1 in 3v3. So we officially have the only bye in the East, which is very nice. So we don't have to play the first round. I'm proud of the guy, especially Cap, for stepping in last game and then coming in this game. And I was hoping, getting him some runs in 3v3 would translate over to 5v5 because he has to be more aggressive in threes and look for his shot. So he played really well tonight. I'm pretty proud of him.
Yeah, Pat. Nice to see your beard coming back a little bit, but you might have to shave it after every win, so that might just have to be something you do. But What did you see from the Cavs on tape? Like, did they play kind of how you thought they would play? It looked like their defense was a bit confused on pick and roll, just giving up wide open three after wide open three. Did you kind of see anything that would lend you to get those open threes and stuff that you've watched before?
So we've actually played the Cavs. I would say like maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I feel like in threes, and they actually ran a different lineup. They ran the two shooting guard lineup. So, but we've obviously looked at their film, and they've been running this with Fakey at the lock. And I was a little surprised. I thought they could have taken more twos. They had an opportunity to take more slips, but Antoine's a really good guard, and he was really aggressive. So I guess he was just 300 the whole time. And really, it's just he's going to get his shots in. We kind of just have to slow him down, to be honest with you. And I thought we did a good job of that. Obviously, Ryan and Cap were really in the pick and roll, and they were kind of switching when they needed to. And they give up some looks, but overall, they did a pretty good job.
We had a conversation there with Dave Fry before he hopped on here about his impact, not just in the 3v3, but 5v5 overall. And you mentioned it a little bit, in the postgame show against Toronto as well. Obviously, having a player like Ryan on the team, not only just being a team leader, but a big impact player, being able to kind of really fill in when games aren't going his way, when he's not scoring a lot. He can help clean up the boards, force some turnovers. Obviously, he's in the running for league MVP. Obviously, we asked him about it. He's going to give us the humble answer. Obviously, he's like, oh, well, it's a team game, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. But at the end of the day, like, this is an accolade that he definitely deserves. As his coach, and having the opportunity now to coach him for 4 seasons now. Yeah, 4 seasons. What has he meant, not just to the league, but to this organization, as the organization and players changed with time, but Dave Fry remaining that same impact player?
Yeah, no, he's obviously going to give you the humble answer, so I won't be as humble for him. The past couple of years, I thought he was easily deserving as the MVP, especially last year. What he meant to the team. I know season 3 he won Finals MVP. Still had a shot to as a MVP finalist, but this year I think it's just no doubt like he deserves it. He's played multiple positions for us in threes. He's played guard. He's played power forward. He's played lock. And then obviously fives, he plays center, and he's probably one of the best passing centers in the game. He swings on defense, so sometimes his stats aren't as good, but if you watch the game and you actually know tape and know the film, like, you can see the impact that he makes from his play. And not even just that, like, sometimes people can see the leadership, that what goes on behind the scenes, but when I really mean it, like, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and he steps up, and he's been a leader for us over the past couple of years. And obviously I might be a little biased since I've coached the guy for a couple of years, but he deserves MVP this year wholeheartedly. I don't really see how other people can be in a conversation, but just please vote for him for MVP. I think he totally deserves it. I know you guys do too, so give him some MVP votes.
Absolutely, for sure. And I'm just interested to see kind of like behind the scenes of a 3v3, like kind of what's the difference in like communication, like from a 3v3 to a 5v5? Because obviously, in 3v3, there's really no timeouts to make adjustments. It's just go, go, go. Especially like we saw in game 2, the game seemed to have been over in like a couple minutes, and the Cavs shot 8 of 9. So is there any real way to kind of adjust mid-game in a game that's kind of like flying by like that? Or you kind of just have to, just kind of talk during the possessions, and that's really all you can do?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, because it is such a faster game. I mean, the games could literally be over in 2 minutes, or they could take 10 minutes. It just depends on how the offense is flowing. But for us, I think, we've just been really good. I mean, Deanie and Ryan have been playing together for 3 years now. So their communication is always at a high level. When we have Justin in there, I mean, all 3 guys have been playing for 3 years. Throwing Cap in there, maybe in the beginning, we had to work some things out, but now he kind of has gotten into it where, sometimes you don't even need to communicate. It's just like, what the other guy is going to do because their tendencies. But yeah, for as far as those like mid-game adjustments, it kind of just has to be on the fly. Threes isn't a hard game. It's kind of a simple game, is what we like to tell the guys, because, there's only 3 of you out there, and there's not many rotations you can make. Sometimes you can switch and whatnot, but, it's a simple game. Keep it simple. Take the points when you need to. If we're down, we can 3 on the beginning, go for 2s. So, you just have to break it down possession by possession, and kind of where you are. If you're, leading or you're behind, there's kind of certain things you can do and work on from there.
So last game you talked about how this weekend you were going back to 5v5 scrims, obviously in preparation for, the massive bye week or bye month it feels like you're going to have while the ticket goes on, and trying to get the guys fresh and ready to go and kind of get them back in that 5v5 mindset. Give us a little insight into what that's like switching into a 5v5 scrimmage type setup while you're still in the middle of that 3v3 tournament. Obviously, you know, you want to hammer home on the 5v5. You're going for that three-peat, but at the same time, trying to keep the team fresh for the 3v3s coming up.
Yeah, you know, it'd be very unique to win the first 3v3 championship as well, and we have a great opportunity to do that, being a #1 seed, you know, having the first bye in the playoffs. So I think the next couple weeks, you know, when we come back and practice from the bye week, it's going to be hard because I want to juggle, obviously 5v5, you know, we want to win a championship at that, since that's, you know, what the league's been since season 1, but also to have the opportunity to win the first 3v3 tournament, or 3v3 championship would be huge. So that's probably going to be a big schedule issue for me, trying to work into time for 5v5, 3v3 scrims, and you know, we might be living in the facility at that point in 2 weeks. But we did have our first 5v5 scrim today when we played a 3v3 game. I've been separating that because, you know, I don't want them to have to go back and forth. But you know, went pretty well today, so you know, that's something I might have to keep up during the bye week, where we play 5s in the morning, maybe 3s in the afternoon.
This might be the most important question of all. Since you guys did clinch the #1 seed in the 3v3, you obviously have a game on Thursday. So will you consider actually suiting up yourself at point guard against the Pistons on Thursday night?
You know, I would love to play myself. I was actually playing Pro-Am last night, and I've been playing some threes. You know, I've just been getting back into 2K in the retail game. But, you know, I don't know. I'll have to ask the game admin on Thursday night if I'm allowed to play. Maybe we'll switch our lineup up, maybe give Brandon some runs. We'll have to see. I know he's been itching to play, you know, maybe guard or something. So we'll just have to see what happens on Thursday.
All right, Coach, here we go. Here's your threes lineup for Thursday.
Oh, I already know what you're going to say.
P. Cross, Chris, and myself. We're throwing it down. The Pistons have no chance. We're going to sweep them 3 straight games.
I like Chris and I's chances, John. I haven't seen you play, so I can't speak for that.
Well, you know, just put Dayfry behind me to motivate me, and I'm pretty sure I can throw down.
He'll tell you you're the best. He'll tell you you're the best in the world, and you won't be able to miss. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or when you do miss, he might get angry at you. So you know, you got to figure it out from there.
Yeah, I won't throw the controller or anything. That's, you know, we won't do that.
We'll work on it for next season. How's that?
You know what, Pat? I'm going to take you up on that.
Oh.
So obviously the last game of the 3v3 seed week for you is going to be against Detroit. Obviously, and Season's a big name on that team as well. You know, it feels like there's always like 1 star guard per team that is an absolute make or break here for the opponents here. Give us a little preview for what we can see. It's a late as anything tip off, 10 p.m. But again, if we get the 2K admins doing what they do best, it might be a 9:30 tip off. We don't know. We'll find out when it happens. So I'll give us a little preview there of that Detroit matchup.
Yeah, no, we're you know, looking forward to playing the Pistons. You know, they've been a good 3v3 scrimmage team that we played before. You know, the seed weeks came up, but you know, Anstey's is a pretty good guard, pretty aggressive guard. He's gonna, you know, come and try to score 21 points out of 21 if he can. And obviously they have Charger, I think, who's been in their lineup, who's a good lock. And then Ramo, who, if he's on that 7-1 build, the center build that can't shoot, you know, it's an inside center. He plays for a lot of rebounds, and that's how they play. And if we don't get box outs, then, you know, it's going to be a long day for us if we don't get Ramo off the glass. So it'll be a good game. You know, we're excited. Like I said, we may change the lineup up. I'm not sure. Or if we want to, like, you know, get these guys some more chemistry, we'll go with that lineup. But, you know, we'll have to find out on Thursday.
That's all I got.
Cool. All right, head coach Pat Cross, and thank you so much for joining us. Congrats on the 3-1 victory, and good luck on Thursday.
See you guys. I'll see you on Thursday.
All right, appreciate it, Pat.
Congrats.
Head coach Pat Cross, and not liking the idea of me strapping up my virtual Jordans to get on the court. I don't blame him. I've seen my gameplay, and I don't even think Dayfry behind me motivating me, calling me the best player in the world would help. So that's why he's the coach. He makes those decisions, and sure enough, those decisions that he made last week, inserting Cap into the lineup, obviously paid off. That's 2 wins in a row now for Wizards D.G, securing that #1 seed in the East for 3v3. That's what you want. You get that bye week. So now after next Thursday's game, Chris, the schedule I'm looking at is correct. They pretty much have a month off before their next game. That's going to be a great time to kind of get that reset, get that mental reset, get that, you know, time away from the game as well. They're going to go back and visit their families, spend some time away, and then they'll come back, and then it's back to business. It's back to scrims, and it's trying to focus and lock in for that 3v3 and 5v5 playoff mode.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be much needed time off. As you heard Pat say in that interview, it's once those, few weeks go by and it's time to start practicing again, it's going to be a grind. I think he said something like they might have to live in the facility. Like, it's probably going to be like 3 days, 4 days, maybe even 5 days with a combination of scrimming 3v3 and 5v5. So, they're going to need that full mental capacity and just, focus top notch for those few weeks leading up to the playoffs. So, their time off will be well spent and it'll let them rest recovered mentally and physically, and they'll come back stronger than ever. And it's just pretty remarkable that, we were able to clinch the #1 seed in 3v3, where I don't think anyone would have had us even remotely close to that. Everyone knows how potent of a 5v5 team, we are, but, losing our star point guard to retirement, I don't think anyone thought this was possible. So testament to the coaching staff, the players, the management team with Andrew, everybody, holding the fort down together and, clinching that #1 seed. That's no small task. There's a lot of good 3v3 teams and players in this league. And for us to be #1 in the regular season, truly, truly amazing.
It's kind of funny. I had a chance to talk to Pat preseason on Game On DC, the esports show for the DMV that I do outside of broadcasting here. And I asked him about 3v3 coming into the league and if that was going to be a priority for him. And he pretty much laughed at it and said, we're going to play and we'll see what happens. But obviously at the end of the day, we're a 5v5 championship squad and that's what we're focusing on. And then let's fast forward several months later. And like you said, they've locked up the #1 seed. They get the bye in 3v3. They won the first ever 3v3 title back earlier in the season. It's just ironic that, Pat's over here talking about how, 5v5 is our main focus. We're not even going to worry about it. And now here we are, pretty much one of the top favorites to win the whole thing in the 3v3 postseason. It's truly a testament not only to his coaching, but to the players that he has drafted and traded for on this roster and kept over the years to really put together a strong performance here, both in 5s and 3s.
Yeah, for sure. And when your star center can move to point guard and win you the first ever 3v3 championship, that's when life is good. So, great job by Pat, great job by the management team, and shout out to the players, are the ones on the court making it happen. So, huge accomplishment. Congrats again to the team, and I'm super excited for the playoffs, especially for 5v5. We haven't commentated 5v5 together yet, so I'm super excited for that, especially in a playoff environment where everything's on the line. It'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's going to be a blast. I can't wait for it. Pot of luck, I can't believe you dipped out. You're supposed to be the #1 super fan. I don't know what you're doing. No, you're all good, man. You're all good. It's a 3-1 series victory here tonight for Wizards D.G over Cavs Legion. They have locked up the #1 seed in the East for 3v3. So who knows what lineup we will see on Thursday. He says he was shooting hoops. You know what? We'll go ahead and let that happen. We'll go and let that pass there. But nonetheless, it's a big win here tonight for Wizards D.G, securing that #1 seed, as we said. Next game this Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. No official coach stream for that one. Make sure to tune in to the official Twitch channel for the NBA 2K League to catch that as well. You can watch the game, solely that game, if you want, on the command center, or you can wait for it to pop up on the main stream as well. You can take a look at it there. Make sure you follow Wizards D.G on all the social media channels as well to find out when the next official coach stream will be. It's gonna be a little bit. We're gonna have several bye weeks. There's gonna be the the ticket tournament as well. So it's gonna be a while before we see each other, but have no fear. Make sure you follow on social media. We'll pop in and out here and there as well to keep you up to date with everything going on. And also, last but not least, go and vote for the NBA 2K League All-Stars. Get Dayfry, get Nudini, get Awkward, get Cap, get B-Rich, get all the Wizards D.G players in there. That way we can run the East as well in the All-Star game. All 5 players are incredibly deserving of your vote, so make sure you do that early. Do that often. Do it on multiple devices, and make sure we get our boys in there for the East. All right, Chris, you got anything else, or we're going to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, just final thoughts. Again, I'm super pumped for playoffs, 3v3 and 5v5. We're looking probably top tier favorites in both. So, I'm super excited for that. And I think, with this seed week 3v3, I think Pat can really accomplish his goal as, coming up with another lineup that he can use. He can obviously always go back to the 3v3 championship lineup with Dayfry at point guard, but now he has another, super potent lineup under his belt, which, I'll probably venture to guess that this is the lineup that we're going to run starting playoffs, but there's a long time between now and then and a lot of scrims to play. And he'll make the right choice for them, but just having the option and the versatility to choose between the two, will just give us a lot of, a lot of different ammo depending on who we play. So I think like I said, he accomplished his goal, and that's just going to make us even more tough to beat playoff time for 3v3.
There you go. Wizards D.G on the journey for the first ever NBA 2K League double, winning both 3s and 5s. It could happen. Definitely could happen. This team is absolutely insane, crazy talented. Great staff there as well. Everyone from Andrew to Pat to the players, it just absolutely fantastic. Everyone there at the MSC family putting together this amazing team and organization. Big shout out to everyone who tuned in for the official co-stream. Thank you for tuning in all season long, as when the 2K League allowed us to do this. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing these games to you, along with Chris and all of our guests that we've had throughout the season as well. We're super excited for playoffs. We hope you are pumped for playoffs as well. And until the playoffs, thank you for watching. On behalf of Chris, my name is John. Thank you so much again, and we will catch you all in the playoffs.